Now, time for Fox Carolina weather. Weather Rate certified most accurate local forecast.
And I'm tracking some intense thunderstorms that are just outside of our area between Charlotte and Columbia over toward Rock Hill and then extending toward the Raleigh-Durham area. All of this really getting sparked by a sea breeze, that cool breeze that comes in off the ocean and has kind of acted like a mini cold front and helped spark off all that activity. And you can kind of see it actually moving through our area, but we're not seeing the storm initiation from it. It's getting a little too far to the north now at this point, but still could see a random shower or even isolated storm right up along that boundary. You can kind of see that, the radar picking up on that wind shift. So really crazy. We are right on the edge of some of that heavier activity. You're probably wishing that we could get a little bit of heavy rain for our backyards. The rain was not everywhere today, that's for sure. We're going to have a decent chance of afternoon storms tomorrow. So maybe hold off on watering one more day just to see, because we've got a decent shot at it tomorrow. Through the weekend, we'll have about a 30 to 40% chance of rain, and we continue that threat into early next week. So tomorrow, still not a guarantee that you'll see rain, but about a 40% chance of it. High of 90 across the upstate, so a little better than the mid to upper 90s like we had earlier in the week. 86 degrees for you in western North Carolina, about a 50% chance for rain. So on the Carolina Sky Meter, we're going with another blah rating, 7. It passes, but it's going to be very warm, very muggy, but it's exactly what you would expect for this time of year. Here's a look at FUTURECAST. We'll have a little better chance of storms than we typically do on a summer day as a shortwave moves through, and that's basically just a disturbance in the upper levels of the atmosphere, but it will help spark off storms. There's 2 p.m., beginning to see that activity in the mountains into the upstate as we head toward the late afternoon, early evening. Some of these storms could pack strong wind like what we got a couple of days ago, as well as lots of lightning. So get the kids inside if you see the skies darken. Notice that as we go into the evening, it all falls apart, just like we often see. We lose that heat of the day, and that's the fuel for the storms. When that goes away, the storms do too. Now, we're also watching some activity in the tropics. Of course, we talked about this earlier in the show. Tropical Storm Gonzalo. This is the brand new update. Still not a hurricane yet, but it's expected to become a hurricane as it approaches the Windward Islands late Friday, and then eventually will weaken again as it gets into the Caribbean. Big question is what it's going to do once it does get into the Caribbean. Will it weaken to the point where it dissipates, or can it hold together long enough to get into the Gulf of Mexico? Most models have it dissipating and not making it to the United States. So that's good news. We have Tropical Depression 8 that continues its trek toward Texas. So you can see it's going to likely strengthen to a tropical storm. Hannah would be our next named system. So it's going to bring some strong wind toward Corpus Christi and even some heavy rain as far north as Houston and the Galveston area as we head toward late Friday into early on Saturday. But neither of these systems look to affect the Carolinas at this point. So very happy about that, even though I think a lot of us would just love a little bit of rain to cool us down. We'll have the chance of rain this weekend. A few storms on Saturday and a little less active on Sunday, but still those pop-up storms possible. And then average July heat. Low 90s. 90, in fact, is the average high, and that's what we'll get on Saturday. 92, so a little warmer than normal on Sunday, and then we warm back into the low to mid 90s next week with afternoon storms. So kind of a stagnant weather pattern, but at least there is that opportunity to get cooled down with some rain each day. Of course, you can always check in on the morning news from 4:30 to 9. Meteorologists Nicole Pape and Isaac Williams will get you all set up with that weekend forecast.